So, what if the key to solving a really massive problem wasn't some new tool, but a new kind of conversation? Today, we're going to break down a fascinating strategic document that honestly is less about software and way more about psychology. It's a deep dive into a super high stakes world, and it shows us a really powerful lesson about earning trust long before you even think about asking for a sale.
Wow, this one sentence just nails it, doesn't it? Have you ever had that feeling like you're being asked to build a skyscraper with, I don't know, a plastic hammer? Well, that's pretty much the daily reality for the person we're about to meet. The work they do has immense weight, but their toolkit, it's just dangerously fragile.
All right, so let's step inside this pretty unique ecosystem and meet our main character, the DC staffer. And you got to understand, this isn't just a job title. It's a role played by thousands of professionals in an environment where a single misplaced comma in a briefing could literally have national consequences. Just think about it for a second. Imagine you're the person drafting the talking points for a senator right before a major vote. The information you're handling could shift policy if it's misunderstood, or, tank a stock if it leaks. That's the world they live in. Sharp, discreet, reliable. These aren't just fluffy words you stick on a resume. They are fundamental survival skills in a career that is built entirely on reputation. And this is the real kicker. They're like the navigators charting the course for a massive ship, but they never, ever get their hands on the wheel. They have all the responsibility for making sure the map is perfect, but they have zero control over the ship's final destination. So you have all this incredible influence, but almost no direct authority. So where does this all lead? How does this intense lack of control actually show up in their day-to-day life? Well, it becomes a huge vulnerability when you look at their digital world. The very tools they have to use to do their job are often their single biggest source of risk. This way of thinking actually calls their reality digital chaos, and it's the perfect term for it. It's like, imagine you're trying to cook this amazing gourmet meal, right? But your knives are in the bathroom, your spices are out in the garage, and half the burners on your stove just don't work. That's their digital life. Just take a look at this list on the screen. How many of these feel painfully familiar to you? You've got the endless email chains, those shared drives with totally mysterious permissions, the constant jumping between Slack, Signal, Teams, and your own scattered notes. It's not a workflow, it's a minefield. And the thing is, this isn't just about being inefficient. It's about a constant, gnawing fear. It's this low-grade anxiety about that one accidental reply all, that one leaked document, that one screenshot taken out of context that could completely derail a policy or a career. That's the emotional tax they pay every single day. So here's what you've got to get. Their extreme caution isn't some kind of personality quirk. It's a survival tactic, plain and simple. It's a calculated response to a high surveillance, high consequence world. For them, being careful isn't just a virtue, it's basically a suit of armor. Okay, so what we have is a hyper-cautious professional who's trapped in a really high-risk digital world. So how on earth do you solve a problem that's this deeply ingrained? The typical corporate playbook would say, just force a new software solution on them. But this blueprint shows us the answer isn't a new tool. It's a whole new kind of conversation. And this slide, wow, it just leads it all out, doesn't it? Look at the column on the left. Mandates, top-down control, a laser focus on software features. That's a command, and it just creates resistance. Now look at the right. A conversation, user control, and a focus on their actual work and their real-world risks. That's an invitation, and that's how you build trust. And out of that conversation, an idea starts to form. But listen closely to the language here. It's not called an app or a platform. It's called the Forge, and words really matter here. They're not trying to sell a piece of technology. They're offering a sanctuary. And that shift in thinking, from tool to sanctuary, is everything. Because what does a private space solve immediately? That constant gnawing fear we were just talking about. Can you imagine the sheer relief of finally having a place to think, to draft that really sensitive memo without constantly looking over your digital shoulder? That's the real power of this approach. It addresses the emotion, not just the function. And this is where the strategy gets really clever. So let's ask ourselves the crucial question. What do you get when someone truly takes the time to understand your world before they ever try to sell you a single thing? Well, the answer is right here. You get 5 huge, immediate wins without paying a dime or installing a thing. Let's walk through them. Number 1, clarity. For the first time, their chaotic workflow is actually mapped out and understood. 2, safety. They now know that a truly secure space is even possible. 3, control. They can finally see a path out of all that chaos. 4 is confidence, just knowing that vaporizes the fear of the unknown. And finally, number 5, optionality. The power to choose, because nothing is being forced on them. So when you strip everything else away, what are you left with? It's this. In a professional life full of borrowed tools and shared digital spaces, they're finally given a key to their very own room. It's like giving that ship's navigator a private, unshakable lighthouse in the middle of a stormy sea, a place of pure control in a world of chaos. So what can we all learn from this absolutely brilliant piece of strategic thinking? Because this is about so much more than just one type of person in DC. Let's zoom out and find the universal lesson here. What's the big takeaway for you? After all of this, what's the core insight? It really has nothing to do with politics, and honestly, very little to do with technology either. Here it is. The most powerful tool you will ever have isn't in your software suite or your sales deck. It's your ability to genuinely and deeply understand the world of the person you're actually trying to help. Everything else, it's just features. And so I'll leave you with this question. If you really, truly got inside your customer's world, what would you change? What would you do differently tomorrow? Think about it.